Peace and blessings on the all the daydreamers out there. Please live it. Don't sleep through this thing. Welcome back to another episode of The Pour Over, where we pour over into you some words of encouragement to not only get you through one of your days, but we're trying to get you through life, shouter. So come on, man. Let's go ahead and get this thing started so we can get through life. So I'm sitting here thinking what to say on a Monday morning, man. And it made me think about, for some odd reason, my mind went to like the study that me and my youth group have just concluded regarding the account of Joseph, man, and his story and everything like that. I'm not going to rehash the whole thing or anything like that, but it made me think of around the final chapter after Jacob died. Now, mind you, when Joseph first had his dream, he was about 17 years old. So when his brothers did him dirty and tried to murder him, but then was convinced not to murder him, but they ended up selling him into slavery behind the brothers' back who convinced them not to murder him. He was 17 years old. He was sold into slavery. He was thrown into prison. And then he spent time in Pharaoh's house for about 14 years and everything like that. Because you got to remember the 7 years of famine, the 7 years of all that and all that stuff. 7 years of plenty, the 7 years of famine. So years have passed, man. Joseph is no longer 17 years old or anything like that. This is a grown man to the fullest. And after their father died, they're now in Egypt and everything. And after their father died, the brothers got together and was like, yo, man, hey, check this out. We need to go ahead and send a message to our brother, because now that Jacob died, he might want to take vengeance on us, man. And we ain't trying to be taken out of the game like that, shouted. What's crazy is after all these years, his brothers are still holding a sense of fear inside them for something they did in their past. Think about that. Think about that. They have not forgiven themselves. And because of that, they feel as if their brother won't forgive them. And because of that, they feel as if God has not put them in a place of grace and mercy, even though Joseph has fed them through a famine, has embraced them as their brother, has brought them and their family into a land of plenty, has done all this for them despite what they did in their past, and they still fear what could happen to them. They still fear death by the hand of the person that they did wrong. Let me ask you this, guys. How many of you guys sitting right now, watching this, listening to this, however many you are, however few, however many, doesn't matter, how many of you are fearing your past? Something that you did, something that you believe is so terrible that forgiveness does not occur for you. See, we forget that Joseph, while he is indeed a hinge-pin in getting Israel into Egypt for God to complete his perfect will, he is also a mirror image of Christ. Christ going into a place that will put him into bondage, going into a place that will put him into false accusation, but being raised up so that he might bring salvation to many. See, you got to peep game, and you got to peep game in the scriptures and everything like that. And here it is. We serve a God who sent his son to die on the cross for the sins of all mankind. There is no sin that is greater than the forgiveness of God. There is no sin that is greater than the love of God. There is no sin that is greater than the blood of Jesus Christ that was shed upon the cross. Do you harbor some form of fear that what you did in your past cannot be forgiven and you can't move on from it? Have you held it for years? Now, mind you, this is years, ladies and gentlemen, that these brothers has held this. But I love what Joseph said. Joseph weeps. And I think Joseph weeps, and this is speculation. I don't think Joseph weeps because he was crying at the fact that they uncovered him. No, because the following scriptures don't even show that or even prove that. I think he weeps because it pains him in his heart that his own brothers still think that he would hold such a grudge against them, even after the benevolence that he placed upon them by taking care of them in a situation where they could have died. He brought salvation to his brothers, and his brothers still think that he's going to kill them and take vengeance upon them. Joseph said this. He said, I'm not God. I'm not God. I'm not God. I don't have a judgment to place upon you. If there is a judgment upon you, that's not for me to give. My job as your brother is to make sure that you are taken care of. Joseph found a level of maturity. This is not the same Joseph from the previous chapters. This is not that same 17-year-old that we first met in the scriptures. Joseph, he has matured to the point to where he can look back at the individuals who had did him wrong and see their future and not hold their past against that. So I'm saying this. We serve a God that sees your present and your future and won't hold your past against you. That's amazing. That's something to truly, truly, truly find joy in on a Monday morning as you wake up. Understand, your history to God is no more. Your present and your future means everything to him. Much love and respect. Y'all be safe out there, man. Let's get this Monday started, man. Peace.